Hello, it's Nicole Ronigan, and this is part 2 of our 30th time together for our 5 minutes for mom, 5 minutes for ourselves. This is part 2 of For the Lover. Okay, so this is our second lube blend, and I'm splitting these up so we can kind of stay around the 5-minute mark. All right, so this is when you are a lube recipe for when you are setting the intention to co-create, when you are bridging that conversation, when you are wanting to really fully come into and own that understanding that you actually are a partner in co-creating both with source and with your partner. So like this can be an intentional fun, like it's not just right about sex and enjoyment and surface level intimacy. There's like actual spiritual intimacy happening in your intimate times together, in your lovemaking. And so this is a lube, and again, I really like making them in the glass roller bottles, but you could do it anything that you like. It's a 2-ounce recipe. So it's 3 drops of petitgrain. And yes, these have great properties that like feel really good, but these are addressing emotional and spiritual things as well. So we're clearing away any unhealthy traditions around sex, sexuality, lovemaking, any past experiences that kind of want to creep into this intimate time. We're clearing that away and we're establishing healthy connections. So if you've had any abuse, trauma, flawed philosophies, teaching around sex and sexuality, just experiences that just weren't good, just weren't fun, or had, multiple partners that like you're thinking about, they're energetically clouding your space when you're just wanting to be laser focused on your connection to your source and to your partner. It clears all that away. So any patterns, any unhealthy traditions, clears that away with petitgrain. And then 4 drops of ginger. Ginger's going to have a warming effect, so that's going to be really nice because you want to create heat and raise that energy up. And that's any time you are feeling powerless, it shifts you to feeling responsible. So again, like lovemaking isn't this passive experience where, oh, I hope I have an orgasm, like, or I hope this is, have a good experience. This is like, I am connecting to my partner in an intentional way. We are connected to our source in an intentional way, and spiritually, emotionally, physically, we are creating something amazing, whether it's deeper intimacy and connection, whether it's a baby, whether it's a business, whether it's a book, whether, whatever it is, more money, like getting to a next level of income, any of that you can co-create with your partner. And we've used this process like during the sale of our house, on our trip, manifesting open doors for different things that we've been pursuing, definitely next income levels, all kinds of fun things. And we have 4 kids, so we've used this process a lot. And the ginger is a really nice addition to any lube blend if you like to add that heat. Then we're going to do magnolia, and it's a roller bottle, but you just take the top off and get a pipette, or you kind of just gently pour, and just 3 drops. So you just want 3 drops of magnolia. And this just like brings down any defensive barriers where you're justifying, where you're like, well, I've always done it this way, or it's like the checklist of like what you think a good lovemaking experience should be, or any preconceived notions. It like clears all of that, or just any part of you that feels like you have to defend yourself or justify, to being really perceptive. Like your senses will be so heightened and honed in when you really connect to the energy of magnolia and be able to perceive like what you need, what your partner needs, and you'll really start to connect to that flow. And I'm going to say work with this, a few times. You're maybe not going to get it like that, especially if you don't really know what you're looking for. But I do have a YouTube video on the Big O, and it does work you through that whole thing. And then when my course and my book come out, there will be way more in there about it. But for now, this is the help to help you not settle or talk yourself out of full disclosure, And honesty is going to give you added insight and perception, and you're going to have that breakthrough to pleasure. So this is like, I feel especially good for people who've been together a really long time and they just kind of have their way of doing it, like literally doing it, that it's kind of almost on autopilot. And it's for people who have just kind of like settled into that, like, yeah, we're really comfortable, we're really familiar with one another, but maybe we're not like open to changing it up a little bit. It's great for that. When you're setting an intention to co-create, you are going to need to get out of autopilot and be intentional. And you're going to need to have the ability to be vulnerable and intuitively connected so that you can raise that energy up to that next level and then connect for that amazing climax of orgasm. All right, so this is the second video in this part, and then I'll see you next time for the third lube recipe. All right.